Welcome to Wandering Aimfully, the show. I'm one of your hosts, Caroline Zook.
I'm the other host, Jason Zook, and in this episode, we want to help you break your bad habits by sharing the bad habits that we've broken.
It's a podcast about breaking bad habits.
I'm so mad. I am so mad. Also, if you do want to see if our marriage stays intact through the end of this, because spoiler alert, neither of us are wearing our wedding rings.
Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. Do we get divorced?
What is with you?
I don't know.
We talk about each other's bad habits at the end of the episode. Ooh,
Spoiler alert.
Could
Do
get
not
dangerous.
recommend. We hope it inspires you to change some of your own bad habits and maybe start living more intentionally. Enjoy the episode.
Also, today was my birthday when we recorded this, so.
Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Hope you sent me some nice gifts in the mail
It's
belated.
his birthday. He's old.
Hey there, we're Jason and Caroline Zook, a husband and wife team who believes life is just one big experiment.
This is the show where we share our journey as we figure out this ever-changing thing called life. We cover topics like running a business, traveling the world, and clawing our way out of debt, all with the hope of inspiring you to live, work, and create with more intention.
Life might bring its twists and turns, but when you know who you are and what you want, you're never really lost. Welcome to Wandering Aimfully, the show.
Wow, if that would have hit you in the face, class
Would
action
have been my
lawsuit.
fault.
Class
Do you know what a
action.
class action lawsuit is?
Ay, left in the kitchen.
Never wear it.
And realistic marriage. Hold on, you got like a little lipstick on your teeth.
Really?
Last time it was eyebrows.
Okay, get it.
Now you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just be honest? Your
Yeah.
response doesn't make me think that it's not there. It's just like not big enough to care.
You're fine.
Did-
Husbandry 101 for everybody
it's like,
at home.
You know, whatever that commercial is where it's like, it's fine. And then it's like, fine's not okay. I don't know. It's like a wireless commercial or something.
Yeah, I'll try and Google that.
Anyway,
but-
I just lived it.
Low hopes. Boop, ba-da-doop, boop, 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 boop,
The
boop.
timer's back.
The timer is back, ladies and gents.
They can't see the timer.
Bad habits. I know. Well, what are you gonna do? I need to be able to see it. It's important for us, you
Okay,
know.
fine.
You want me just to hold it the entire time? This won't be distracting. Just have it just glare off of the sun so you can't even really see it.
It's fine.
Yeah, there we go.
What's this episode about?
Let's talk about some of these bad habits that we have given up.
Okay.
And hopefully they will involve positive changes that have come into our lives and maybe some interesting stories. And then my entire intention of this is that people walk away going, you know what, I probably have
Couple bad
something
habits.
like this, a habit or two that I need to get rid of.
I have a feeling, like it was hard for me to think of three, but I'm like, I have a feeling the
Oh.
second I start,
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh,
Oh, ooh.
then there's that.
Ladies
there's that.
first or gentlemen first?
I'll
We
start.
each brought 3 to the table for
Okay,
this.
this one is one that I know a lot of people are guilty of, and it's kind of cliche, but it's just true. My
Eating
first,
peanut butter out of the jar with your finger.
oh yes.
Gross. If
Gross.
you do that, don't do that.
My first one is checking Twitter while in bed, first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so I made an assumption before we recorded this and I brought this topic up to you that we might have some
Overlap. Is that one of yours?
So mine was, I used to wake up and check email first
Oh.
and then Facebook. So all of these things,
gnarly.
I think yours, the negativity for me as I see it from that perspective is that like, you're getting a lot of like world events put on you first thing when you wake up.
Well, that's what I realized.
Yeah.
And there was a part of me that like, I don't know, I don't know what it is about just waking up and not wanting to get out of bed yet and just wanting like something easy for your brain to kind of chew on. But guess what? Twitter is not easy
Not that.
for
It's
your
not-
brain to chew on.
it's
a lot.
It's legitimately the worst things that are happening in the world.
I think there comes a moment where you have to kind of admit the hard truth to yourself, which is that there's a part of your human brain that is addicted to the disaster and like
Yeah.
just wants to know what's going on in the world, but like
This has been
it's
my
bad.
argument. This has been my argument for as long as we've been together of why I don't watch the news.
I know.
Because I just
It's
don't.
the worst of things.
It's the worst of things. Number one, it's not even
and I don't follow enough cute pet accounts to even
to balance out.
yeah.
You need
and I
like
do, but
puppy
there's
pics,
not nearly enough.
puppy playing pics, baby hippo puppy pics, which is a mix of baby hippos and puppies playing, which is
Baby hippo, puppy, puppy.
You gotta have that. There is no unbiased news anymore. It just doesn't exist. Maybe it never existed, but for me,
Because humans are biased.
exactly. And so for me, before we started dating, I mean, this is just a decision that I made was like, I'm not gonna watch the news ever. I'm never gonna watch the news. And guess what? I'm pretty well informed. I know about the things that matter when the things come up that happen.
We can argue about that, but...
And if they don't...
But I get your point.
If I don't know what happens.
I know, and I get your point. And also, I will say, playing devil's advocate to my argument, which is that a lot of us who do like to stay up on all the things, we mask the dark part of that by the justification of staying well informed. Like, don't you want to know everything that's going on in the world? Don't you want to know? But like, really, if we hold up a mirror and take a hard look at ourselves, part of it is the human part of us that is addicted to the disaster that's going on.
Is it a?
And I don't know if...
Hold on. Is it a Black Mirror?
Did you see new season coming out?
I don't want to watch the trailer, but I'm excited for it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that, it just reminds me, like, it's hard being a human. Anyway, but so that was the first one. And now I don't even really, I have to consciously stop myself. Oh, I know what I do in the morning. I was like, no, because I do pick up my phone. You know what I do? I play that stupid interior design game.
Interior design game.
What is this?
A center for ants!
You guys, there's this game on it's just an app on your phone, and it's like you decorate rooms with real furniture, actually, but every day you have like a little inbox, and every day it gives you more diamonds. And so you can buy new stuff.
You can buy new stuff.
And I realized
Virtual, you've never made an in-app purchase.
Yeah, you don't, I mean, you can, but you don't. Because every day it gives you, and every time you like enter a challenge and decorate a room, it gives you more money.
What's this called?
It's called Home, or like Design Home or something. Anyway, I found it when I was excited about moving in here, and we were like, but like you get the same dopamine hit from buying something on article.com.
You do.
I do. But anyway,
Can we go back to mine before you?
No, I want to tell the people.
All right.
First thing in the morning when I'm like getting
Jealous
conscious,
here.
I pick up the phone. I don't look at Twitter. Instead, I still get this like little jolt of like fun because I'm getting diamonds, which is gonna allow me to enter a new challenge. And it's stupid, and there's no part of it that is negative. It is just creativity.
I'm 100% for this. I just need you to know. My question to you is, why do you not look at Instagram?
Because I know it's a different brand of, like, Twitter's different because it's like world news and stuff, but Instagram, especially during this season where I'm trying to focus full time on like my mental health, all it reminds me of is what everybody else is doing. So
it's just the comparison traps.
It's the comparison trap. It's the pace. So I'm like, it just makes me feel like, oh, I should be creating more art, or oh, I should be doing more stuff for the business, or like, and there's no way for me to protect myself from that. So I just have to like keep that boundary. I follow now a lot of like anxiety recovery stuff, so I can still enjoy Instagram throughout the day, and it's useful to me because it's like these messages of support and encouragement as I go along this healing journey. But first thing in the morning, reminding me already of like what I'm not able to accomplish that day is not a good place for me to start my day.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me, I actually found this out a couple years ago when I just one morning decided, like, I'm feeling really negative throughout the day, and especially in the morning, and where is this stemming from? And I remember reading some article about changing a morning ritual, and it was nothing groundbreaking. And I was like, I think I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this for like a week. And I created this morning ritual. I called it Insta Coffee Hobs. I wrote an article about it. It's at wanderingaimfully.com/morning, which kind of detailed out exactly what I did and what led me to where I am today, which is, I don't want to start my day off reacting to other things, whether it's world news, and that would be like stuff on Facebook or whatever. But even for me with email, like I shouldn't be checking email and immediately going into first thought as I wake up, oh, I need to go and fix this thing, or I need to go and check this thing.
Right.
Instead, I should start the day off with something positive and something that I enjoy. And for me, that's actually now Instagram, because I don't follow any accounts that I have comparison traps of. I just follow creative people, interesting people. My favorite right now is @BlotterMedia. I believe that's the account that I showed you. And it's funny because when I showed it to you, he had, and I found it through Cool Hunter, so I don't even get credit for finding it.
What's the account?
It's the guy who does the animated frames over the like rap songs, like hip hop songs, the videos.
Oh, the motion graphics stuff. Yeah.
And he did a full video with it for Fits and the Tantrums, which is like his big thing. But when I found him, he had like 60,000 Instagram followers, and he has over 1 million now.
That's cool.
And so it's real, and we've talked about it before, like that his style is going to start showing up in commercials and things. I've probably played a clip over top of this for you guys to see what,
you
so we'll see what it looks like.
I was gonna describe
But his
it.
stuff is amazing. He's
For those of you listening on the podcast, it's if you've seen any short clips with basically neon little motion graphic
This is fun to
animations.
describe it on podcast.
But it's like neon graphic
yeah.
motion animations that interact with people dancing and
Yeah.
music and things.
Yeah. Anyway, so for me, it has been a big shift of getting rid of the habit of the same thing as you, checking things that I react to or that are negative, and just creating a better morning habit, a morning routine. And I think that's for both of us, is just starting your day off better.
Every once in a while, I'll pick up my Kindle because it's like sitting, because usually we'll have read in bed the night before, which leads into another one of my bad habits.
Oh, wow.
But I've, for
All right,
some
well,
reason,
like-
for the longest time, that was like an evening ritual of ours, is to read the Kindle. But I
yeah.
was like, why can't I
Do it in
start
the
by
morning?
reading
Yeah.
in the morning? So
I know I'm on a good book when I want to wake up
when you
want to
wake up and read it.
Yeah. That was the latest book for me was James Veitch's .con. And a lot of people know James Veitch from his absolutely hilarious interacting with spam emailers or just incorrect emails that weren't meant for him.
Or I could do what I think we've all always wanted to do. And I said, Solomon, your email intrigues me.
But he wrote a book that basically brought all of these emails into one place, and I woke up every morning for like 3 days wanting to read these. It was really fun. Okay. We don't have a ton of time left because we're ramblers and we go long.
Chatty cats.
So we both have 2 more. So what's your next
first one? What was your
My first one was waking up in the morning to Facebook and
so
email.
that was overlap.
That's what I said.
Oh my God, we're married.
Rewind the tape. I don't want to rewind the tape. Go ahead.
Rewind the tape. My second one. So that leads into my second one, which was for many years, well, ever since we bought an iPad, it was watching shows in bed on the iPad at night.
So we haven't had a TV in the bedroom since 2015 when we moved from Florida. We had one in Florida.
No, we didn't.
Oh, no, we didn't.
We've never had a TV. What bedroom are you thinking of?
I had a TV in the bedroom before you, and I got rid of it.
Really? Well, you got rid of it before me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We've never had a TV in the bedroom. Never.
Where did I have a TV in the bedroom? Wow, that was weird. A little mental lapse there.
Wait, was there a TV in...
Here we go.
No, was there a TV in Jack's bedroom?
There was, but
we
it
never
wasn't
turned it on.
connected to anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was also the biggest master bedroom we'd have ever had or ever will have.
You
It
couldn't
was
see
so
it.
far away.
It was so far away.
Yeah.
Okay, we've never had a TV in the bedroom for all intents and purposes. I love TV, and I'm not afraid to say it. It's my escape. I love watching shows. I look forward to shows.
The Bachelor,
it turns my brain off.
Ugh.
I love The Bachelor.
How many seasons into The Survivor are you now?
Oh, yeah, I'm on the Survivor bandwagon, y'all.
No, but
I'm like an old person who
out of
watches
37
CBS.
seasons, how many have you
I
watched?
watched probably 10.
10 full seasons?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
38 to probably like 15. That's fine.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, I love TV, but the problem is I was using it at night as like a crutch. I don't know what my hang up is with like falling asleep, and like I just sleep. I sleep really well before the anxiety thing, but falling asleep is always like really hard for me. So anyway, I used to, or maybe it was like a stress thing. When I was stressed during the day, I would, and we were working a lot, and so then I would like want to turn my brain off. So I would bring the iPad in and I'd watch like The Voice or whatever in bed. But we had a lot of conversations about it, and you were kind of like, I just don't like the vibe that it brings because, and I will give you this, it's very like isolating. So it's just like me and my little world, you're doing your thing, and it's very, you can start to over time feel like, oh, we're married, but like we're just gonna be in bed at night and not talk to each other. And sometimes we would watch stuff together, but it still just felt very stimulating in your brain. It wasn't relaxing.
Yeah, and for me, I just know that if I watch something that close to my face, whether it was on, like I used to watch stuff on my phone a long time ago, but I haven't for years, I couldn't fall asleep after that.
Yeah.
Like the bright blue light from screens, even if you turn it in night mode or whatever, like it affects me. And even when you watch it now, like I'll be like, hey, can you just like turn it to the side? And now it's different because you're having such a hard time mentally fighting all of these things to fall asleep. So there's definitely a grace period. But I hope that when you get healthy again, that we do stop doing that because it does create a disconnect. And even if we're watching the same thing, it's still a disconnect because you disconnect from each other and you just go into that world.
Yeah, but I think the interesting thing and the reason why I included it, because like I'll still use it every now and then, especially I go through these roller coasters of like getting into a really solid evening routine where like I can sleep through the night, even through the anxiety, and it's fine. Other days are really bad and I need that crutch, and you know, we're vocal about it or whatever. But I think it's very telling that even now when my sleep habits are so irregular, I will only watch stuff in bed probably one night a week, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that, if anything, is a example of you getting better. It's that 3 months ago you had to watch stuff
Right.
every single night, and now it's once or twice a week.
Right. And so I think kicking that bad habit and replacing it with Kindle or doing now, of course, with the anxiety stuff, it's like my AirPods and doing affirmations at night or doing like an evening meditation and all of that. But it's just more relaxing.
We also have that swing too.
Oh yeah. That's for a different podcast, but.
Biggest swing in jungle history. Will hurt very much. But George have to do it.
I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, my second habit that I broke, trying to remember without looking. Okay, I'm gonna go with, I used to be, I'm gonna admit it, it's even weird for me to say the word, but I think it's fair to say I was obsessed with shoes. I think it's fair to say I was obsessed with shoes before we met. Even when we were first started dating. Because at one point, I think I owned 70 pair of shoes.
That's too many shoes.
I think you reach obsession at that point. And for me, if you were to ask me, like, why do you own this many shoes?
Yes.
I mean, the reason was because as a kid, I wanted different shoes, and, you know, my mom couldn't afford to buy all these different shoes for me, and she bought me some shoes. I didn't walk around with no shoes at all. But I wanted, like, the new Jordans as a kid, and I wanted the new this and the new that, and I played basketball, and so there's, like, the Iversons and the new And1s and, like, all these things. And I could still remember so many of these shoes that I sought after, and when I could finally afford them, and when I got a job at Athlete's Foot my freshman year of college, every paycheck they would hand to me, and I'd just be like, here you go. Just take boxes of shoes home. I don't know, as I got older or whatever, I just realized, like, why am I collecting all these shoes? And I think for one of the things was I was collecting them because I couldn't have them when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think I finally just got to a place where I collected so many that I was just like, all right, I did it. It doesn't make me feel any better to have 70 pairs of shoes. I'm gonna move on.
Right, that's one of those things that because you're in a state of like deprivation when you're younger, you think, oh, this will make me happy. And then when you seek that out and you're like, oh no, it wasn't the shoes.
Yeah.
It was just the feeling of deprivation. I do think it's funny that we were just at the mall today and you were talking about marketing because we walked by like an Hermes, I don't know how you say it.
Hermes.
Store, and you were like, I just think this is such a perfect example of like marketing and the way that our human brains can just like, we'll buy the same quality item, but it has a different, like Supreme, right?
Yeah.
It has a different brand name, and so we'll just be like rabid over that one thing and how powerful marketing is. But like, when you think about it, like people who collect shoes, like that is what that is.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
There's no
100%.
other reason of why, even when you were a kid, when you
can't wear more than one pair.
Right, and it's not like the variation in design and materials is that different to your experience of walking.
The one thing I do get about it, which is part of why I did it, was I did like it as almost like a piece of art. Yeah. And that you have this thing and you have an expression of style and all that. But I just think it gets to a point when it's just too far.
Right.
And I think for everybody that line is obviously different. But I think now I own 6 total pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
It's like I have a pair of boots, I have a pair of dress shoes, I have these that are like comfy shoes. I have another pair that are similar to this in a different color. My workout shoes.
I
and
do
my
get the
flip-flops.
idea of like, kind of collecting things brings joy. Like I was just thinking, do I have anything like that? And I guess mine would be like pens.
Twistables.
Like art supplies. Like I love getting new of that, and it brings me a lot of joy. But you do have to kind of check yourself and be like,
before you
do I
wreck
really
yourself.
need this? So that's a good habit.
All right, last 2. What are the last 2 here?
Okay, I wonder if yours is kind of related to mine. My last one is using...
I think it's really smart, by the way, just sorry to butt in, that we didn't try and guess each other's bad habits. That could have been
that could have been bad.
different podcast. Yeah.
Do you think it's
That's
the way,
how you...
Do you think it's the way that you chew really loud? I'm just kidding.
That's how you keep your marriage intact. You don't guess at things.
I would say using food as like an emotional...
This was not what I
crutch.
picked, but it was actually one of the first ones that I thought about.
Because I was just thinking the other day, I mean, you guys know, like, we stopped eating meat 2.5 years ago, but I was just thinking how much we used to ritualize food and bad food. Like, when we lived in Florida, we would go to Chick-fil-A on Saturday mornings, and we would get Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit.
Chick-fil-A. I could eat there 7 times a day. Where the people laugh and children play. Oh, I'm in love with Chick-fil-A.
the way that we used food as a mechanism for joy, and it totally can be, food can be, but like when you habitualize bad food in that way so consistently,
Ooh, true.
I'm like, that did some damage to our system for how long we did that.
Yeah.
And even before that, this is like many years ago, we were still drinking like Diet Coke, and we were drinking Diet Cokes all the time. And that would be like a thing that we would be excited to do, is like go downstairs and get a Diet Coke. And like, just the...
I can't even imagine drinking a Diet Coke right now.
It's bizarre.
I'm drinking black coffee.
And even like, I would say, you know, probably 6 months ago, obviously it's been a really hard year, but even 6 months ago, just when we'd be in the middle of working and we'd want a break in the day, we'd go out to lunch and we would just use that.
Yeah.
And we didn't really realize how much money we were spending and
well, I think we did realize.
Well, we did, because we were tracking
didn't
we didn't
make different
care.
choices.
Right. Yeah. And also, every time that we eat out, we make worse choices than when we eat at home. So like health-wise. So, and part of that, I think, and part of just the general conversation of how to change your bad habits is to make sure you replace them, or you have a plan in place to understand the mechanism of it and then to kind of interrupt that behavior. And so for us, the meal prep company has really helped us, and we are working with one that we love now called Thistle that we absolutely love, and it's super healthy, but delicious. And so we just, because it's here and because we don't buy snacks at the store anymore.
Well, we do buy some, but not nearly what we used to buy.
We have like 2 snacks, and they're like cauliflower crackers.
So
shut your mouth. It's not like Doritos in the pantry. Like, oh, we still have snacks. They're cauliflower crackers, okay? I'm not gonna let you get away with that, okay?
Yeah, but there's snacks.
There's snacks. But anyway, so that's my last one.
That was a close one for me to have that one. The one that I decided to have as my last bad habit was
smoking. I'm just kidding.
Just black tar heroin. Like, I just 7 times a day.
I wish you said something so...
I would administer black tar heroin because I have no idea how it actually works. Through a crack pipe? Do you do it through a needle? I don't know how drugs work.
And also, why does it have to be black tar?
Why is it black tar?
I don't know.
We'll Google that for you at some point. My last one is a little bit different, I think, but it kind of relates to the shoe one, which is breaking the habit of wanting societal aspirations. Mm-hmm. So I was incredibly focused, even when we first met, of having $1 million, owning a big house, owning really nice cars, just the MTV Cribs life, essentially.
What's up, MTV?
And I think this is a habit that so many of us form, of just wanting the things that we see in society that reflect success or having money. It's like, why? Why have those things? And what comes along with those things that you don't even realize? And so for me, I really did break those habits. It was especially when we started embracing minimalism and just realized, like, I'm gonna challenge all of these assumptions. Is this something I actually really want, or is this something that's kind of being force-fed to me that I just keep staying in this cycle trying to get? And it really freed me up. Like, I feel so much better now that we talk about this all the time. Like, I have no interest in owning an extremely extravagant, nice house, because I don't want all the pressure that comes along with maintaining it and worrying about it and how much money it would take and how much work it would take to get that money and all those things. We talk about it often. I would love to have like a $150,000 container home in the middle of the jungle in Tulum. Like, that would be a dream, and that would be something really cool. And it's not nearly as expensive or any of the other things that go along with it.
Life.
So the societal pressure thing for me, I mean, it's kind of like a weird, like...
Is it a habit?
Is it a habit? But I did think about it every single day. And I was making choices in life and in business, chasing after those goals, as opposed to defining what mattered to us.
Yeah, and I think a habit is anything that you do sort of unconsciously, and you just do it out of automatic response.
Yeah.
And that wanting the next best thing just because of the status it brings you by society standards, I think that qualifies.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. It wasn't because you stumbled there. I was more just checking in, but also because you stumbled.
Yeah, I sort of was checking out for a second, but I'm back.
You just went to a place. Listen, this is, we're an honest group here.
We're healing. We're on a healing journey.
All right, so would love to know your bad habits that you're going to give up. Leave those in the comments. Things that you already realize about yourself, maybe some that you've been tackling, or things that we've talked about that you also currently do but want to give up. And with that, you want to Google something for him?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of more bad habits.
Just to fill the time before the timer goes off?
I have one more.
All right.
I think I used to, when I was working, again, I like TV. I would convince myself that I could like watch TV at the same time that I would work. and it doesn't work very well. But we had several conversations about it, about like, why is it taking you 4 hours to write an email? It's like, because I was watching Dancing with the Stars.
How come Hulu is full screen and Photoshop is just like kind of a small window in the bottom left?
Oh, you better know when they started, when the Apple, what
Sound
is
it out.
Mac OS introduced the half and half screen.
Oh yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah.
But now
game changer for not productivity.
Right. Game changer for time wasting. But now I use it instead. I don't, because like it brings me joy and that's fine. Instead, I use it as a reward.
Yeah, it's like a Pomodoro technique.
Right.
Almost,
So
right?
it's like, do this one task, focus for an hour, and then you can watch 15 minutes of voice performances or whatever.
Okay, let's see if we don't ruin our marriage here in the last minute or two.
What's a bad habit?
What's a bad habit of the other person?
I don't know that you have a lot of bad habits.
Oh, bum 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 bum.
Hold on, give me time.
Dun, dun,
Give me
dun,
some time.
I mean,
some time.
I can only think of one for you that constantly bothers me.
Clothes piles.
Clothes piles.
Yeah, that's fine. I have clothes piles.
And that's not like, obviously it's not a super negative thing.
Here's my rebuttal. Bad by whose determination? You know what I mean?
All of these could be that. That's not a fair thing to say. If you
What
leave
do we
a
think
pile
is
of dirty-ish laundry in the middle of the floor.
Okay, here's the thing. They've been worn once. They don't warrant washing. Why put them back in the drawer? Put them in an accessible place.
The floor.
If I had a chair, I'd put them on a chair, but I don't. I have a floor.
I told you the other day, I'm looking at the time to see if you have any time to get one for me, but probably
Hold on.
yours for
Stop
me.
talking
Yours
so
for
you know
me
what-
is that, like, I'm too anal about this stuff. But, like,
Bad habit.
especially in this time for you as you're recovering, I'm like, hey, it's okay that you have a clothes pile. Like, I'm fine. I'm loosening if you guys listen to previous episodes.
job.
But it was when the pile started to, like, ooze out into the middle of the room.
You keep saying ooze. There was like one sock that was...
No. It was a jacket that, like, had splayed itself.
It's not my fault that the arm was like...
It had, like, thrown itself into the middle of the
Alright.
room, and it was just too much.
Again, give me a chair and I'll put it on the chair.
No.
I
Alright.
really think it's important that I get one for you. Okay? So let me just think about it.
Yeah.
Bad habit, bad habit, bad habit. I'll give you one.
Your face is so happy. You better hurry up, because if the timer goes off and you don't get it, I'm pressing stop.
One of yours is your utter lack of patience and understanding for other people driving.
Yeah.
I understand that you have a very efficiency-minded brain and you just want to, but like, it gets under your skin so much. Like, you keep track of like a car that's next to you and you are in the fast lane and there's somebody in front of you that's going too slow in the fast lane, and you'll like keep track of where the car was and that they're ahead of you now, and it pisses you off.
Yeah.
So I just think maybe loosening.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. We need that Tesla autopilot to like be,
I know.
and you need to trust it, and then we can do that, and then I don't have to do
That's
anything.
a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
I almost said can of beans. It's a whole other can of beans.
It's not a whole other can of beans.
No.
It's a can of worms, which we talked about in a previous. We Googled that for you.
I know. I think I got it right.
You did. You were pretty close.
Oh no, that was the earthworm. I was so right.
Oh,
Remember?
that
I
was the
like,
earthworm. Can of worms was like kind of close to it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fill time until the timer beeps. Oh, it probably already did, but I forgot to turn the sound on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. All right. Anywho,
right.
Let's Google something. Now, this one I told you. Ooh, I got a text message. You asked if you were going to mention this. Hello, Jason. This is Vision Express. We want to wish you a happy birthday. Oh, marketing. Just
What is Vision Express?
a place where I got my eyes checked many years ago. Why would you
Many years
send
ago.
birthday text messages as a Vision place?
I don't know, but I have unsubscribed from Pure Bar Jacksonville about a gajillion times.
All right, anyway, we're Googling something for people.
Okay. Britt, if you're listening, get me off that email list.
I brought this up to you probably around a year ago.
Okay.
And it was, I wanted to know the difference between hand washing dishes and using a dishwasher.
Yes.
Do you remember what my findings were?
I remember that you determined that it was actually more efficient to run the dishwasher.
Do you remember how much more efficient it was?
Because I just want to give people context, because at the time we thought to ourselves, like at the end, we do the dishes every night, we load the dishwasher. I do that. I would like to say I do that.
You've been doing that.
Been doing
Yeah.
that for a year or so. And our thought was, okay, even if it's not completely full, do we try to like not run it and maybe like load them the next day and then we're running it half as much? But the problem is then the next day you fill it up, it's too full, you hand wash the rest. So like, is that actually more efficient? So that's why we looked it up, was like, would it just be more efficient to run the dishwasher every night?
I'm hoping that for those of you who listen this far into our episodes, you actually care and you're going to make changes in your life, especially this episode because it's got some fun things. This is pretty crazy.
Okay.
So the information comes from the Natural Resources Defense Council. I feel like we can trust a Natural Resource Defense
And they're
Council.
defending them.
The average nightly, if you wash dishes in the sink at night, the average amount of water that you use, take a guess, how many gallons?
3.
27
No.
gallons of water.
That's
27
so
gallons.
many.
And this is, like, it says in here multiple times, like, it's not an exaggeration. That is how much they've measured it on an average household.
27.
The dishwasher,
Bren.
so an energy certified dishwasher,
Okay.
which not all of them are, but any new dishwasher, and I think they say new is after like the year 2000, is between 3 and 5 gallons. A full
Wow.
load of dishes, 3 and 5 gallons
Now
of water.
the real question is, because not everybody just loads their dirty dishes into the dishwasher.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many gallons do you think we're using in the rinsing part?
So listen to this. Don't rinse your dishes by hand. Rinsing your dishes before sticking them in your dishwasher is majorly wasteful. According to Consumer Reports, pre-rinsing dishes waste more than 6,000 gallons of water per household every year. Most newer dishwashers can handle bits of food, so don't worry. Scrape the big stuff in the garbage, don't rinse it. The other part of not pre-rinsing is that a lot of people think that they're getting the water hot enough to like clean off whatever, anything. A dishwasher usually gets the water to 100 to 145 degrees. Your hands can't handle that temperature of water. So you're not getting the water as hot as it gets within the dishwasher to actually get the dishes clean. So even if you're pre-rinsing and you're doing it with hot water, you're washing with hot water, it's nowhere near as clean as it's gonna get in the dishwasher.
It's redundant.
It's not even redundant.
It's not effective.
It's not effective. So to recap, stop washing your dishes by hand.
Yeah.
Stop pre-rinsing your dishes.
Okay.
Scrape big chunks of food in the garbage. Don't use water.
Great.
Run your dishwasher every night if you need to.
Yeah.
Because
3 to 5 gallons.
3 to 5 gallons is a heck of a lot less
Than 27.
Just unload them every morning. Create a nice little system for yourself. You know, you do the dishes one night, I'll do them the next night. Then we get kind of like sexy time in the swing after that.
Biggest swing in jungle history.
Whoa.
We don't have a swing
We don't have a swing.
yet.
I'm kind of imagining like a rope, like a tree branch rope swing in our house.
I mean, we'd be far more into that.
That's what I was talking about. What were you
Me
talking
too.
about?
No, I was.
Same. Made of leather. Vegan leather.
Rope.
Vegan rope. Anyway, that's it for this show. Hope you guys get rid of some bad habits. Hope you start filling up your dishwasher instead of
Even if
rinsing
it
your
just
dishes.
inspires you to think to yourself, what are 3 bad habits that I could replace in my own life?
Yeah.
We hope that improves your life and helps you live better. And those are the same things.
We hope it helps improve your life and live better, and be
have a
happier,
happy life.
and then just be more
And just
yourself.
improve and just
and then
get better.
Think about being positive as opposed to not being negative.
Double negative about being negative.
Thank you. That's it. We'll see you guys later. You're the best. Bye.